Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about the GOP changing the calendar. In Indiana, the 2026 legislative session was expected to begin on January 13th, 2026. Well, despite the Indiana State Senate saying they weren't going to pursue redistricting because they didn't have the votes, Republican policies are so bad, and they are expecting such a landslide in the midterms that the pressure to redistrict has not let up. The House will convene the 2026 legislative session early. A statement from House Speaker Todd Houston said, quote, House Republicans will gavel in on Monday, December 1, reconvening the 2026 regular session. All legislative business will be considered beginning next week, including redrawing the state's congressional map. Because session will start early this year, we plan to adjust the calendar and complete our legislative business by the end of February. Imagine knowing your party at the national level is doing so badly at representing the interests of Americans that you have to change the calendar to then change a map so you can pick your voters. It really says a lot. Up until now, the state Senate wouldn't even consider redistricting. But now they've decided, quote, to resolve this issue, the Senate intends to reconvene as part of the regular 2026 session on December 8 and make a final decision that week on any redistricting proposal sent from the House. The threats and pressure campaign might have swayed some of them. One of the interesting things is that even with this move, there's a possibility that they don't have the votes and are doing this to placate Trump. We're not exactly sure and don't have good enough sourcing in Indiana to get solid vote count math. Sorry, the Indiana Senate just normally doesn't make national news. Democratic State Representative Mitch Gore talked to the press and said, quote, why can't we respect at least the spirit of the state constitution, which says that legislative districts, our own districts, can only be done once every 10 years. So there are a lot of issues with it. It is just wrong. I wish that Congress would do its job. You know, Republicans control both houses in Congress and the White House. If they really thought this was an issue with Democratic states, red states, they would just pass a law to ban partisan gerrymandering nationwide, which they could do today. But that's clearly not actually the reason they're trying to do this. For the most part, that also seems to be the attitude of people in Indiana who don't like being ordered around by D.C. Smart state-level representatives are probably cautious about tying their wagon too closely to Trump's, especially given the economic hardship his policies have caused those in the state. Remember that despite Trump's promises of China buying 12 million tons of soybeans by the end of the year, they're not even remotely close to that. At time of recording, even though there are rumors of new contracts being signed, the most optimistic current readings put them 10 million tons short. Politicians who align too closely with Trump will likely be held responsible for his actions at the ballot box. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.